Hello one, hello all. Welcome once again to the PES-Association Football Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Natchai.
And welcome to the 10th podcast.
Oh my god.
Podcast X. X to the extreme. But X also means, or can also mean, Christmas. Xmas, Christmas. It's that time of year.
This is exactly why we've been waiting so long to do this podcast.
Yes,
just so he can make that reference.
It was not at all the fact that we've been waiting for very important details to tell you all. It was just so we can make the association with 10, X the Roman numeral, and Christmas in that particular order. That's the only reason we've not had a podcast in a very long time. Absolutely. But yes, Christmas, joy, fun, festivity. Sing, Natchai.
No.
Not even one carol?
No singing.
Couple of verses of 12 Days of Christmas?
No. Let's not get in there.
They'll be upset.
I bet they are.
We'll hear I can hear Facebook just creaking under the weight of the comments saying Natchai can sing. We've been asking many times before. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's a football game, guys. I mean, we don't. It's a football game, not the X Factor.
Yeah.
Which is probably just as well for us, I think.
Can you imagine having Simon Cowell right next to you talking about football?
Probably could, actually. To be honest, he probably could with great skill and panache. Anyway, it's season 23 or 22. I've lost count.
Somewhere in the future.
It's 2034, though.
I think.
Yeah. This is so time has just gone past in an absolute blur. We didn't even really realise how long it had been since we'd done one of these. Anyway, so tradition dictates. How's your team been, Natchai?
My team's been performing quite well, building up on the new Manchester Red formation.
So you've done the switch over. You're on the new.
I'm on the new formation. Yeah, definitely. Because there was no point for me in staying with the 12-13 formations. So, but yeah, it's been going great. I'm finding a lot of Manchester players. Slowly building up. It's been like 3 or 4 seasons now that I'm building up my team. Mm-hmm. And at the moment, as I'm speaking, I'm in second place actually in the league, with actually like a very brief stint on first, probably by goal difference or something. But yeah, it's going good. How about your team?
My team, I've kind of leaving them this season. I'm building up my resources for next season because I'm still using Bayern 12-13.
Uh-huh.
So I need to actually get off of that formation. So I'm kind of leaving this as, again, one of these fallow seasons where I'm just going, whatever. I'm not buying any boots. I'm just letting the players do their thing. In the event of disaster, I will step in and do something about it. But you know, if I'm going to end up playing in the PES Cup or the Rising Star Cup next season, so be it. I'll come in, be a powerhouse, and probably win the thing. And of course, since we've last spoken, I don't know, have you had any legal cup success?
No. Every time I've been eliminated in like the quarterfinals or something like that.
Yeah, Konami Cup for me is just a disaster every time, and it's always the quarters of the semis, so I get knocked out. It's the teams are just not strong enough to. So it's one of the stronger teams, but it's not strong enough. I did have to change a lot of my team round not that long ago, so they're kind of coming to the end of their contract. So there's no point in doing anything this season. Yeah, but I think I won the league in that one more time since we've last spoken to everybody. I think I won the season that we were actually in at the time, and I also won the PES Cup. So I've joined the band of people who have that. So I just need the Konami now.
I've already got that one.
Yeah, you got that one.
And I'm in the Konami Cup again. After a very long time.
Yes, of course. It's been a while since you. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how your team performs actually, because I mean, there is with the Konami, it's a bit like Champions League or whatever, and there's going to be a core of sides who are always there, and that's the thing, is that there's core sides who are always there, and it's interesting to track. Well, they aren't in the same league system as you necessarily, so it's good to see how you're doing against them, but yeah, it's kind of tricky.
I'm setting my focuses on the league itself though, since I still have not won any league.
Well, since we last talked to them, of course, Goku.
Yeah, completely vanished.
Yeah, they went into. This is the side that we've mentioned on a couple of occasions, who did this fantastical team. Which was it was a dev side, and they did this fantastic team, which was all, I think, had the average overall rating of the team was about 76, 78 maybe, because you had players who were very low 70s, you had 2 in the 80s, I think, and maybe 1 high 80, but otherwise all the players were there was whites and greens. And this was the side that dismantled everybody in that league, including all the other devs and us. And yeah, this was the side that we always go, okay, this shows optimization because hello, they went through the entire season almost undefeated, and look at them. Yeah. Look at them. If you saw a picture of that side, you'd be saying, weak and rubbish players. Well, clearly not, because they were taking apart these 86 rated overall teams and everybody else. So and then he got a new side, ploughed all the money into new players.
Oh, okay.
And it was sort of okay for a season. Changed it around again for even higher players, and dropped like a stone. The reason was that the power in terms of the statistics were there, but the optimization was no longer there.
Yeah.
So this player had 90s. I mean, there was a lot of red, a lot of orange on that team. Yeah, got relegated. They're in Division 2 now. And they've not come back up either, which is interesting.
Yeah,
normally people sort of, it's a bit like real life football. There's the slight yo-yo effect, in that you'll see teams that are too good to be in Division 2 but aren't good enough to stay in Division 1. Yeah. They're on that horrible cusp between relegation and but no, they've gone. There's been a bit of a change round. I think Avispa won the league. In
It's possible.
Our league. So certainly somebody who won the league right back when we started and hasn't won it for about 20 seasons, then came along and won it. There's been a bit of a change around in the powerhouse teams. We're still in there, but we think we're really just the 4th and 5th side, really, aren't we?
Kind of. A lot of the teams that we started out with, that were in there for like 17 seasons and stuff like that, just relegated. We're one of the few remaining, I guess, who were actually in it from the beginning.
Yeah, we're the one of the... I think there's only like 4 or 5 left.
Yeah.
I think 5. And at one point there was, 6 seasons ago, half the league had been there for ever, it seemed. A couple have gone down and then come back up because we recognise them, but all the same, yeah. Anyway, we hope your season is going well.
Yep.
And we have a lot to go through today. We have stories, we have questions, and most importantly of all, we have news and information.
Very good news and information.
Very good news. Because if you wondered what we and Natchai have been doing, we've been working very, very hard. And we've been working with the devs, and basically we came up with a plan which used what we knew of the game and what we'd seen through you guys and your feedback, specifically on certain aspects, and we sort of moulded it into a big document, and we've sent this to the devs, which is like our analysis of everything and what needed to be done.
Yep.
And then the devs took it, and they took their plan, and then they merged them together, and then they created a hybrid of stuff that's going to be our plan for all the updates coming from this week just gone, actually.
Yeah.
All the way through to the end of January.
And possibly further.
And possibly further, because there's some stuff that isn't even finalised on that plan yet. And it is all awesomely good stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got that coming up as well. And we're going to tell you everything, basically.
Yeah.
Details of the stuff coming up, and there's sort of an overview of the things in the future, so you know exactly what's going on. No excuses that we've not told you, because we are, and we're giving you we're being as fully closing as possible on this. We'll be also talking to you, by the way, on the forum about certain aspects of this, and we'll be looking to you guys for feedback.
And that feedback might still be integrated into the plan.
We'll talk about what more of that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with the questions then.
Okay. Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. Ramaldinho says, is there any chance in a certain hour you can get better players in silver and bronze packs, or it's just totally random?
It's just totally random. There's no golden hour or whatever.
No, because then that wouldn't be fair to
other time zones.
To time zones.
Exactly.
Which is one of the things that I know is a common answer with us, is that it would be unfair to time zones, but it would be. It would be unfair to them. So football is a global game, and it should be that the game is treated equally, regardless of where in the world you are playing.
Mm-hmm.
It is the chance of you getting a player. Well, let's not say a gold player, but a player above the rating of the ticket you're in is a specific percentage, guys. So there's no. That percentage is not affected by anything.
Nope.
It's apart from the chance of you getting slightly more frequent from your model club.
Yeah,
ever so slightly.
It does seem like that, yeah.
Ever so slightly. But otherwise, there is zero things in the game that affect this.
Yeah.
It's just a percentage. And for the people that will follow up on this, and I know there will be, and will go, yeah, but I'm not getting any players over X, this, and I've not seen any players for weeks on end that are over this level or that level. You shouldn't necessarily expect to see a player above the rating in anything, because funnily enough, the biggest percentage by far is going to be for the range that the ticket is supposed to be in.
Yeah.
As the guarantee, anyway, as the guarantee player. So yeah, I'm buying loads of silver tickets, and I've not seen a player over 90.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, and it's something. I'll come back to this later with another question, actually. In fact, the next question, which is rather handy, actually, because Bazinga asks, how come Kevin got loads of brilliant players after his experiment where he destroyed his side? Because if you remember this from way back when, I never wrote a blog up on this in the end, although it was very, very interesting. I left my club for ages, and I basically forcibly, I gave myself the ability to renew these players and just say, okay, what happens if we actually just keep these players for, I think it was like 5 seasons in the end I ran this for, and how does the team deteriorate? So that's one of the other things I've obviously been doing while we've been away. And and it turns out that, funnily enough, boots have an effect that allows you to sort of, or it did before the deterioration system changed. I should put a caveat on that, guys. The boots, if you had boots on everybody, then your actual, the deterioration of your performance overall is sort of nullified for about 2 seasons. By the third one, though, you notice. You really did notice when they just dropped off. It was even clearer because my side was, I think half of them were about on the age rating boundary while we were doing this, and half of them were also sort of young, just early 20s. And so you could see when there was these specific players that just went down. And all of a sudden, rubbish, they were picking up more red and yellow cards. It was a whole thing. So why did Kevin suddenly get a load of good players? A combination of serendipity and deliberateness. One of the things that we can do is obviously reward cards and things. So what I wanted to see as part of one of the experiments that I was doing was the one after this, was to go, okay, well, I know what it was beforehand. We've now had the 2013-14 players come in. I would like to see the difference. I've got the Bayern formation still. I'm still doing the same tactics that I've been doing. Okay, let's see what it is with the new ratings and just see the difference between the same team, To do that, I had to get the same team. So what I was trying to do was reconstruct my team. So I got the likes of Podolski back, and I got Gomez back. And Gomez I was very interested in because he'd moved to Fiorentina, I think it is, and he had a new set of ratings. So would he still work in his old position in the old Bayern formation when he's not that player anymore? So. Yeah, there was that. So I got Podolski back. I got quite a few of my players back, actually, about 6. And then, but by that point, I just had like a ridiculous amount of gold tickets that I'd actually had to use and go through. It just takes so long, and I've got stuff to do, like talk to you guys. You know, it's oh yeah. This is one other thing. If you're talking to people on the Facebook, that's us.
Yeah.
We had somebody earlier who we gave an answer to, and it's like, no, this is wrong. This isn't right at all.
You should ask Natchai and Kevin.
You should ask Natchai and Kevin. And he was talking to Natchai. And it was like, no, hi, that's us. But yeah, so I tried to do this, and then it was just like, it's not going to work. This is it. I said, okay, I'll give up. I'll stop doing the gold tickets because this is just getting ridiculous. I'll take what I've got, and then I'll just go through and burn up my rest of my tickets, and we'll just see what we can get. I then hit the biggest hot streak I have ever hit in this game. Because you know, previous podcasts, you'll know I've said that I've never had a 90+ player in my team. Well, 18 seasons worth of waiting suddenly all came at once. I used up, but in fact I also used up a gold and several tickets that I had from my special tickets as well. But all of a sudden I had Bale and I had Geeks and I had Casillas. It's like, I need a sub goalkeeper. I've got a sub goalkeeper. Just De Gea comes up. It's like, what are you joking? Aren't you? Like, what am I supposed to do with these two? All of a sudden, I was just like falling over high-rated players, and it was just preposterous. It was preposterous, and now AFC RSI. There's nothing amateur about this side at all. They're like the most powerful side there's been, but there are still 2 or 3 positions which are, lower players. And this is because we have problem positions.
Yeah.
All managers have a problem position. There is one position in their formation that they can't find a player for. And, this is somewhat reflective of the game and in the football game itself, because there will be, who are we going to have for this role? I don't know. Scout around. But there's a couple of players who are whatever.
Hard to find.
who are whatever. Actually, one of the things that did surprise me a heck of a lot was I said I got Podolski back. He did not work at all.
No?
He was my best player, along with Schweinsteiger, who I couldn't get back. Well, actually, I actually got him and Gomez in the same pack, and I was ruining the fact that I did. So I was like, I'll see him again, and I never did. But Podolski was by far and away my best performing player for the price and the role, and yeah, he was rubbish. The new Podolski in the old Bayern formation didn't work at all. So anyway, that's for that. So that's why I got that. So yes, it is just totally random. And the thing that I was saying before with Ronaldinho's question and percentages and chance is that, you know, if you got 100 people in a room and you gave them a coin and you said to flip the coin, most people will have an even balance of heads and tails. The law of probability is that there will be some people who will flip heads more times than everyone else, and there will be some people who will flip tails more times than anybody else.
Yeah.
So there will be players out there, and I apologise if this is you, who will get less of these players coming up, but that is the law of probability. At the same time, there are these players who people who do not get the players probably just curse every time you see them on the Facebook wall or in the forum. But there are the users who get, you know,
stupidly lucky.
Yeah, they get preposterously lucky, and that was my turn to get ridiculously lucky. Have I seen in the last 2 seasons a player over 85? Yes, one. Did I get that player? Hell no, because he wasn't wrong for my position. It's the way of luck.
Yeah.
Amos Shu actually also mentioned this as I hardly find any 90 plus rated in any transfer. The only ones I've found are Ramirez, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Ibrahimovic.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah, I know, that's so unlucky. Yeah, it's but yeah, so there is a case that you will see less players. Some of you will see less good players than others, but that is just luck, and it's the roll of the dice.
And the same thing goes for finding specific players.
Yeah, going out to find Pacific players. Yeah, players from the Pacific specifically. Players, if you want a specific player to fill a specific role, you're asking a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, okay, for all the players in the game, which can come up in the transfer, and any of these players can come up in any ticket, remember, I want this particular player.
Yeah. Not only that, but I want him for 1 season.
I want him for 1 season, cheaply. I want his renewal price to be nothing. Yeah, you got that. It's one of those things. Lasica says, why are players all so ugly? Is it the model from PES-14, which makes a disparaging remark about? But no, they're just, well, I think they probably share some common assets, but no, I mean the players haven't been updated that much. I mean, why are they so ugly? That's how they get hit in the face with a football a lot. I mean,
they're football players.
They're football players, yeah, not models. Apart from some of them who are. It's not to be confused with models who are footballers. We're talking footballers who are models. No, I mean it's it's the same video game. I mean, you're not going to get photorealistic.
Yeah. It's
images
a Facebook
here.
game. We can't really have state-of-the-art engine.
I mean, well, one of the problems was, okay, well, if you had the licenses for players and their likenesses, and then you had a photo of them, but what for the players that don't?
Yeah.
So it has to be a universal thing, unless you want like the silhouetted heads again coming back and the silhouetted players that we had at one point.
Who is this Pokemon?
It's Ibrahimovic. Can Can devs provide a possibility in future to rename clubs? So players could rename all clubs and edit their colours and make data graphical packs from it.
Well, as far as I know, you can already rename your own club. So that's in there. As far as colors and strips and stuff like that goes, we're looking into it, but it's not the highest priority that we have right now.
Yeah, user customization we're looking into. But doing the whole thing, the database exists online. There's a central database that exists online. So if you want to edit all the other teams and call them, I don't know, let's say you wanted to rename Man Blue to something else.
Yeah.
Like Man Town. Or some other, name symbolizing a large number of community residences. Yeah, you won't be able to do that, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. But just simply because the database just isn't accessible that way. If you could do that, then you could play the game offline.
Yeah, exactly.
In theory. So you just play Tor offline. Can we change the mod clubble? What's in this code?
Let me translate that. Model club.
Can we change the model club or club model as it should be by now?
Yeah.
Once in lifetime or once in a few seasons, really? Says Loska.
We get asked this a lot, and initially it was said that model club or club model would be a one-time thing that you can choose, and that's it. Though we have not discussed this with the devs yet, maybe in the future, very maybe.
I think there would have to be some kind of limit on it, as in you can do this once every X seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
But the idea was that it is the club that you look up to.
Yeah.
This, and in most instances, it's going to be your favourite club. So,
which shouldn't be changing.
Unless you're a fair weather fan,
You're not that, are you?
You're not that. None of our guys are that. None of our community is that. We're proper football fans. Yeah, so your loyalty will presumably remain with your club of choice and shouldn't really shift. I think a lot of people want to do that just to get some kind of different advantage, or they want a specific player, so they want to change it to the club that they belong to at the moment in order to get a slightly better chance of getting them in transfers. But that's not really the point of it.
No.
It's supposed to be your favourite club, or the club that you admire the most at the very least. And that's something that's not likely to change, or shouldn't. Among other things, Leska also says optimization has no effect. Or at least none that Leska can see. Explain how optimization really works for us, Natchai.
So, optimization. We have this huge FAQ about this, but the main concept of optimization is, first and foremost, your player has to have the right SPT statistics for the position that you're wanting to put him in. He also needs to be able to play that position, which is indicated by the orange squares on the pitch. So the darker orange the square is, the better he'll fit to it. Another thing that comes into play is his temperament, which can have quite a large effect, as we've seen. The temperament is basically the graph that shows if he's more of an individualistic player or a team player, or if he's more artistic versus logical. So that really factors in as well. Some things that also give kind of a slight boost is the player's nationality and whether that player actually plays in real life for the formation that you've chosen. So say for instance that you have a man-red player and you're using the man-red formation, he's automatically going to be performing better than he would in any other formation. So I think that about sums up how optimization works. Of course, you also have the boots, which provide a slight boost. And the level of optimization currently is shown by the auras, which you guys have named it. So the better your player is optimized, the brighter the aura will be.
But why is it important to have optimization? Why don't I just get, if I'm one of the users out there, one of the managers, why don't I just get a top player and just put them in that position? They play there.
Well, it's as you said in the intro. We've had a team in our league in Division 1 who had a very low-rated team, but the players were very optimized. So they were getting match ratings of 4, 4.5, 5 as an average throughout the season. He beat everyone that really had those top-rated players in their team, but weren't super optimized. They were playing well, but they weren't super optimized. And what happened is that he basically steamrolled all those teams because the cohesion in his team was far greater than any of ours. So it really is optimization that is key in this game, and not overall ratings.
With the exception of gold level players having an ability that allows them to play out of position slightly better,
but very slightly
than other players, overall rating has no factor in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
We say this every day.
Yeah,
but we hope one day you guys will listen. It doesn't have an effect. Optimization is the biggest determining factor in your match rating.
Yep.
The higher match rating score you have overall determines in 99% of matches whether you win or lose.
Yeah.
I say 99%, but I'll come back to that in a minute. So if you have lots of 4s and 5s, and maybe you have like one player who plays badly and he's got maybe a 2 or something, the score of that added up versus the score of your other side added up should, most times anyway, mean that if the biggest score wins.
Yeah.
If it's around about the same, you'll get a draw. So that's why it's important. It's directly affecting whether you win or lose. So, like I said, there's some other factors as well, like the condition, and the other optimizations that you mentioned actually with the team, the original team, or the country as well. That's all a part of that. I think there's some other couple of things as well, some sort of chaotic elements. But,
now probably the chosen tactics factor in as well. Yeah,
and you've got the tactics factoring in, the opposition's tactics are factoring in as well, because those affect the rating. And it's also those things that affect pressure and how things are going, and affect yellow and red cards.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all very important, and why don't you just get the player that plays there in that position? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best player ever. I mean, they probably are.
They'll be very good in that position.
But there will be other players out there who are cheaper and who are more expensive, who can do the same job, more or less the same, if not better.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way it is. So you will get. So we're talking about Gomez. Just now, he had, or at least he had, because he probably doesn't now because of the changeover. He had exactly the same temperament, skills, positioning as Adebayor. So I got Adebayor. He was cheaper. He performed the same job, and the only reason that the score was slightly better for Gomez was because he had the original team bonus.
Yeah.
So it was much cheaper for me to sell Gomez, get a lot of coins because he was one of the better players, and then I had Adebayor come in when I was looking for the player. This is the thing, you see, it all adds up, and if they're in the same area, they'll have similar-ish, depending upon their levels, ratings. And again, overall ratings factor in here. It's only the stat that's important for the position that comes into play.
Yep.
So if you have a player who is 8 in speed, 8 in power, and 8 in technique, and you have a player who is 4 in speed, and 5 in power, and 8 in technique, and the position is it requires technique, those players will play pretty much the same.
Pretty much.
And yes, their overall rating, the second guy's one will be much lower.
But he'll also be much cheaper, probably.
But yes, exactly. But that's not the factor in the optimization.
Nope.
Well, the next question was, what is the aura system? But you already explained that. Okay, Bazinga says, obviously Hall of Legends won't be in the game for this season, but will it be a semi-recurring thing, like the double energy? So, if you explain what's going with Hall of Legends, and also the change around with the campaigns, because we have had 2 double energy campaigns in very quick succession.
Yeah, what we're doing now in terms of campaigns is we had a brief period there where we had campaigns lasting for an entire season. So it would be double coins or whatever on a certain map, or double energy. What we're doing now is we're basically switching the campaign day to day, so that players are able to play more across the board. So one day you'll be in South America, the other day you'll be in Italy, then you'll be in France, enjoying all of the different campaigns that we're offering. As for the Hall of Legends, so the previous season we finally saw Hall of Legends being implemented, and a lot of players were pretty positive about it. A lot of players got the legends that they wanted. They actually perform rather well, but they still, of course, adhere to the game rules, which means that they will also start deteriorating once they're 30.
There's no guarantee that they will fit into the position you're at, because they optimize for temperament and things.
And also for the very few legends that you're able to find under 23 in the current system, yes, they will be able to develop using contract renewals. But yes, the Hall of Legends is a semi-recurring kind of thing. We're already working on the next installment, which is... Can I say this already?
Yep.
The next Hall of Legends is not going to be providing actual legends, but is going to provide high-profile players. Actual
modern
players.
legends, let's say.
Yeah, modern legends. So yes, you will be able to find players such as Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and Van Persie and whoever you're looking for. I think this is not confirmed yet, that the system will be slightly changed in terms of the usage of coins and maybe scouting tickets. There will be further improvements as well, such as seeing the highest bid.
Yes, the Hall of Legends that we had previous season sort of operates on the sealed bid system, where you basically put in your highest bid and then you didn't see what everyone else was doing, which is a problem, because then of course you don't realise that and you think, oh, I've won, and then you find out, wait,
I got
nobody outbid me. But it turns out, of course, somebody did. So yeah, it'll live update.
Yeah. So that'll be changing, and that will be coming in, I think, next season, as far as I know.
As far as we're aware, that is coming in next season.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's one of the first major updates that we can give you.
And there is many more to come.
Yeah.
Will from the Facebook page says, how far do you think England will go in the World Cup?
Well, it all depends on today, I guess.
Yeah, because at the time of recording, they haven't done the draw yet, but it's happening today. Not very well, frankly.
Yeah, I don't see them coming.
I don't see us getting out of the group.
I don't know, maybe out of the group, but definitely not anywhere near the quarterfinals. I think.
One of the problems is, and again, this is before the draw's been made, is they tore up their own drawing mechanic system, and they've now decided that they're going to do a draw before the draw to decide which European club will go into this pot X.
Right, because they want an equal divide.
An equal division of European side, which is great because that means that the poor team that actually gets picked, they just end up in a situation where they'll probably have to go through a ridiculous amount of very high seeded teams. So it's just like, yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Sep. That's great. So yeah, we're in a real chance of that. I think like the nightmare scenario is that you end up in the group with Brazil. Yeah. And then you end up having to go through, I think potentially if they figure this out correctly, you have to go through America, which is a tough one as well, in what you expect to be the last 32. Or no, it'd be the quarters, wouldn't it? Whatever they are. And then you'd probably have Argentina, and you'd also have France, I think, as well, was one of the ones that were in there. There's this real terrible route through.
Yeah.
Whereas if you stay in that pot, you could have Switzerland and the weaker. You've got the weaker European sides and the weaker. African sides. So that's obviously the better. So you're much better off, as you'll probably only end up with just one seed. One seed in the pot that you're in. I do not think they do not have the strength and depth at the moment. They do not have the belief, guys. It was strange. The thing is now we're now of an opinion that when we go to these, we're not going to win it. We used to be an occasion. I mean, right up until about mid 2000s, where it's like, oh yeah, we're actually going to do it this time. We're not. Last 4 years or so, it's really come along and sort of everyone's just gone. We're not. Or whenever we've been mentioned as like a potential favourite, it's just like, no, we're not. No way on earth. We're not going to do that. If we couldn't do it with the players that we had, during the supposed golden age that we had, we're not going to do it now. Plus, it's in Brazil,
which is going to be difficult.
Which is going to be very, very difficult for
European players. Yeah, it's one of the things that the Belgian coach is hoping for the most. He says he's not looking at all to the lottery and to which teams he's going to be pitted against, but more towards which group he's going to be in. That will determine where he's actually going to play. Is what he's concerned.
So it could be an absolute nightmare. This, of course, all depends on actually the stadiums being built, as we know,
and not falling on our heads.
Yeah, it's a terrible tragedy that was the other day. So yes, I think if they get out of the group stages, well done.
Yep.
They've got a fair chance of getting out of the group stages, depending upon which group they're in. Will they go further than the quarters? Definitely not. Definitely not. Quarter final we'd be very happy with. Very happy with. It wasn't Argentina, it was Germany. We'd end up frankly, we've had enough of that.
There's a good fixture.
Yeah, that's a fixture we need. It's like we always get paired with the Germans, and the Scots always get paired with the Brazilians whenever they're actually in it. And it's just we're tired of it.
No more.
We had our one match where we won 5-1, and that was fair enough. That was. We've got the DVD of that at home. We're fine. We're happy. We're satisfied. So yeah, sorry, Will, but I actually don't think we're going to do that well. You mentioned Belgium.
Yeah.
What do you think the Belgian side is going to do? Because I reckon, and this was actually something that we said about in the Sunday discussions.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that who did you think was going to be the dark horse in the World Cup, i.e., the one who have the not expected team, and yet they'll really do well. And a lot of the community said Belgium.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised by it because, yes, Belgium does have a good national team at the moment, but I don't see them progressing further at maximum than the quarters. It'll be fantastic if we get past the group stage as well to get them some experience. But yeah, I don't share the world's enthusiasm that they currently have for the Belgian squad. Don't get me wrong, I want them to perform as best as they can, but we got to be realistic. This is the first major tournament that they're going to as a team, and yeah, they still have a long way to go. They're very young, so.
I think everyone's concentrating on Hazard.
Hazard and company.
I don't think anyone can name any of the other players, actually.
Fellaini now.
Oh, yeah, of course, Fellaini.
But yeah, I don't even know which keeper they're going to pick. If they're going to pick Courtois or the other one.
That's okay, we don't either. we don't either. This whole thing with the poor Joe Hart, I feel a bit bad for, because it's just like, yeah, he's getting all these goals, making us, yeah, the defence in front of him wasn't doing much good either, really.
Yeah.
It's just this thing where anything bad happens, but we haven't exactly got many goalkeepers either nowadays.
We have two good ones to pick from. But yeah, we'll see.
It's a thing actually with England and goalkeepers, in that we have a goalkeeper for years, absolutely years.
Seaman?
Well, we had Peter Shilton,
right,
then David Seaman, then we saw the transition to David James, and then we've sort of gone into Joe Hart for a while, and I think there was a couple of others in there as well. But traditionally, we've always had a goalkeeper for just years and years and years. I mean, Shilton played for England for goodness knows how long. I think he's one of our all-time highest cap scorers.
Mm-hmm.
And Seaman was the same. So, even James got picked up a ridiculous amount of caps. Anyway, maybe you could have found some of those players in the Legends.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. Okay.
Did you manage to find Letitia in the end?
No.
No?
I didn't see him.
That's too bad.
Yeah, Letitia was one of the players in the Hall of Legends. And no, I couldn't find him. But he was on the list, and I was looking. And I know that they put it. I'm positive the devs put him in there because I mentioned him, because it would just so happen that there was like the traditional PES players who they have these legends, and then there was just like some underneath, out of order, out of country order, and he was among them. There was no reason to do that. You know, the man only played a handful of games for the actual country. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a reward for all the Soton players, who knows? And all the Soton fans. And crikey, they're doing well at the moment. Right, into the questions. Hooray!
Dun, dun, dun.
So, what I'll do then is I'll tell you the Manchester story. Because if you remember the last podcast, I intimated that there was a Manchester story and it was very good.
Yeah.
And I asked somebody remind me. And Shane, our friend Shane on the Facebook page, hi Shane, he wanted to know what it was. And he actually put it in the our plea for questions for this podcast that we did back in October, and we did remember, and somebody else liked it. So that's 2 people that were interested in this story. So you're going to hear it, whether you like it or not. Of course, if you don't want to, then you can just skip forward this and go, and then we'll be telling you about, how you can get 1 million coins for clicking a certain part of the map. Shh, it's a secret. So yeah. There was a time about when I was early 20s. I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was now. Not as old as some of you think. And I had a friend who lived in New Zealand, and she was coming over, and her mum was coming over, and they were going to sort of do a round Britain trip. Essentially, get in a car and just go and see various places, various towns and cities and things, and they had some connection to the UK as well. So she was coming over, and we were doing this round Britain tour, and they were, well, can we, you can come with us. I was like, come with me? He was like, yeah, you can be our tour guide. As being the representative of the entire UK, of my fantastical knowledge of you go here, and my ability to read a map. So this was decided that we were going to do this. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, we'll go wherever you want, do whatever you want to do, and that's fine. Was one condition, my payment, if you like. It was like, okay, I'm a big Man Ray fan. We go to Old Trafford. I've never been there. Mm-hmm. I would like to go there. Okay, so yeah, so that was fine. It was a great trip. I enjoyed hanging out. I got on well with the mother, and hey, it was very beautiful company that I had. So it was, I was more than happy on this trip. So it was time to go to Manchester. Fine, excellent. Got to go around the ring road system that there is in Manchester. And it was like, okay, we need to find Old Trafford. So, for some reason, all semblance of listening to me as the person who was, the navigator, just went out of the window as soon as we got into Manchester, and I have no idea why. Because I was trying to get them to various places. And actually, this will probably date it for people, actually, to an idea. We first of all ended up at what was Main Road, the old Man Blue Stadium, which they were at for many, many years. It was a fantastic atmosphere in that stadium, mm-hmm. and it is still much loved by Thursday, home of the Blues. Mm-hmm. So we found that, and they'd not long moved out of this. They'd not yet sold the land, it had not yet been developed or anything.
Right.
So we found that. So that's brilliant. So we found the stadium of the local rivals. That's great. That's a great start. So we search around. We then find the City of Manchester Stadium, i.e. Man Blue's new stadium that they've moved into. And that's fantastic. It was like, are you like? Well, it wasn't in existence at the time. But are you trolling me here? As to what's going on. It's just okay. Look, just take this. No, this way. Not. I'm sure it's this way. It's not. It says Old Trafford. Yeah, but that doesn't mean. So we end up at the Old Trafford cricket ground. I mean, we're spending hours now just going crisscrossing Manchester in a very small area, somehow completely avoiding
the one place
I actually wanted to go. So it's like, look, it says Old Trafford, yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean the same thing. We're in the correct area. Okay, we're in the same area. So let's just look around and look. No, back in the car. Oh, for God's sake! Just do something. We end up at the City of Manchester Stadium again, and by this time, I'm a bit annoyed
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not being listened to, and I've been taken everywhere but the one place I wanted to go. It's then suggested to me, oh, there's a pub. We can ask for the directions there.
Was it a Man Blue pub?
The pub in question was a pub called Somerby's, which was named after the player Nicky Summerby, who was a Man Blue player. It's a Man Blue pub. It's right near everything. It actually no longer exists, this pub. I found out most the other day. But, yeah, could you hop out the car and ask for directions in there? So let me get this right. You want me to go into a very specific public house / bar of the club I want to go and see's local rivals, fierce rivals, kinda haters. And you want me to ask directions to the ground. Well, A, I would never ever get directions. And I'm not meaning to besmirch any Man Blue fans here. But the likelihood of me actually getting accurate directions was also the likelihood of me, surviving with all my teeth would probably be very low. And it was like, I'm looking, you must be joking. It was like, never mind, there's being, brave, there's just being foolish. So the mother went and didn't do like, why didn't you go? Oh, they're so nice in there. I'm sure they're very nice in there. I'm sure if I'd have gone in there, it'd have been a very different story. Anyway, so we finally get directions, and after a brief visit to Main Road again, we ended up at Old Trafford, of which they were decidedly unimpressed. But I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And then I found out, because everything was closed. The club shop, we spent so long trying to get there. I mean, we're talking hours and hours.
Everything was closed.
The official shop was closed, everything was locked up completely. And it was like, yeah, I can touch the wall of the outside, and that's all I can do. And I can look up at the statue of Samant. And that was kind of it.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucked a lot. So yeah, why are you so upset? Let's go.
We've seen so many football stadiums today.
Oh, that was it. We ended up. Oh, that was the other thing. We somehow ended up going out of Manchester at one point. And ended up heading towards Bolton. And so it's like, oh, they got a similar team round here. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And they don't like us either. So I'm not asking you for... But yeah, it was an absolute disaster, this. Absolute
I think
disaster.
you definitely got trolled.
Yeah.
Pre-trolled.
That was the world's first. It's like everywhere but. And then eventually it's like...
Fine, we'll go.
Fine, we're
Everything's
here
closed
now.
anyway.
It's like, well, why did you waste our time with that? It was like, I didn't waste our time. Right. So, it's time.
Time for the update.
Yes. So, these are the things that are coming in to the game. I will give you a bit of an introduction, and Natchai will tell you some details.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, obviously, the week that we've just had, there was a number of things that were changed, which I'll just go into. You can now delete messages.
Yeah.
And also reply to specific messages that you are sent. If you click on the avatar of the person that's actually left you the message, you'll go to their profile. So that's very helpful for you. The ratings of expired players has worsened.
Yeah.
Not only has whatever it was that was preventing the ratio being what it should have been fixed, but we've actually made the ratio of players who get 1 and 2 ratings even worse.
Yeah.
So it's, and by even worse we mean it's more skewed towards 1. There is now a 90% chance that the player will get a 1 rating, and a 10% chance they will get a 2. They will not get a 3, 4, and 5. If you do see any with a 3, 4, and 5, please let us know on Facebook in a private message so we can have it investigated for you and everybody else. They will score goals. There's nothing to stop them from scoring goals. Any player can score a goal.
Yep.
Including goalkeepers, was seen in the English league the other day.
I think we had it in PES as well. Someone who decided that his goalkeeper was to take the free kicks. So yeah.
Perfectly possible.
Yeah.
Perfectly possible. And again, law of averages. If you've got somebody, regardless of their prowess in dead ball specialty, eventually they're going to score a goal. If your goalkeeper is your highest scorer, by the way, you're doing something wrong with your team. But so they will score goals, but this will be a very rare thing. They may have a match where they will score 2, maybe a hat-trick even.
Yeah.
But this will be just like ridiculously rare to practically 0, we're talking here. And winning any kind of match doesn't do any good for them.
Yeah.
In terms of any bonuses or anything like that. They gain nothing from the experience. The contract price of gold players, if they pop up in a silver ticket, was decreased by 10 to 15%, which is more than we actually knew was going to happen. Actually, that was the extra thing that devs said. Resale of players as well
has increased.
Specifically on the 85 plus, but also anyway, and it should be roughly 60 to 80% of the original price.
We say roughly.
Yeah, it's roughly that. Obviously, there's some give and take depending upon contract, but if you immediately sell, it should be within that region.
Yeah. But this is not guaranteed for 85 plus players.
Okay. The 1 hour restriction on the friendly matches has been lifted. Initially, it was going to be that you would be the first 3 friendly matches, so the ones that you get friend points for. That would be 1 hour still.
Yeah.
But the devs actually changed it so that even the first 3.
Yeah. So the restriction now is 15 minutes, and the reason for this is because
that's how long it takes.
That's how long the matches
take. That's how long they are.
They can't be any faster.
No. Yeah, so that's the lowest it can be, and that's it now. So that's been done for you. And of course, Tour 1
has been removed.
Has gone.
Yep.
Tour 12, 13 disappeared off into the setting sun, never to be seen again. So yes, all the straight roads have gone, and now you've got curvy roads in the 13, 14 tour. That was the way that we could identify them on the screen with a quick look.
Instead of taking a plane, you're now taking a bus.
Yep.
In windy roads.
Yeah. We have lost travel by map. I'm disappointed. Anyway, so here are the things coming up.
Yeah.
Player development. Because remember, we've got deterioration, but we haven't got the new system for improvement. You're getting it very soon. Player development will be based on training. There will be a training system.
Yeah. Basically, the way it's going to work is you're going to have 3 choices in terms of time. So you're going to be able to train a player for 4 hours, 8 hours, or 24 hours. And you'll be able to train them in their strength, and their speed, and their power, and their technique, and their ambition, which will affect their condition, arrows. You'll be able to train them in utility, which will kind of give them more insight into the tactics that they're working in. And you'll be able to train them in, I forgot the name, but it's something that has to do with their position. What that means is that you'll be able to develop a player to be either better in his current position, or you'll be able to train them so that they have a second position that they're strong in. So basically, as an example, you can train a left back to actually be able to play on the right back as well.
which will be very beneficial to you if you're struggling to find
Those
left
key
or right-sided
positions.
players. You
Exactly.
can just give an extra string to the bow of the player you have.
Yeah. Another thing to note is that training these players in these hour systems is not going to cost you anything but time.
Yeah. Zip. No energy, no cost for this at
No.
all.
No training points whatsoever.
Nope, there's no other new currency or anything like that coming in. This is the other half of this system that we've been waiting for and getting done. So we're very pleased with this.
Yep.
Also, you got the conditioning and stuff like that, which you mentioned.
We'll go into this
Yeah.
in more details
There'll
in
be a
FAQs
proper-
and stuff like that because it's properly complicated at some points.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of information for you in order to do this, and of course with that comes some tactical,
Yeah.
because condition is obviously one of the things that's really affecting your overall match rating.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sacrifice the progress you are making
In SPT,
in SBT for
For a short-term kind of
for a short-term boost if there's a critical match coming up? Also, if you're wondering how how ambition works, I said this to the guys the other day. How do you improve your ambition? Well, it just means going into perhaps the match better prepared or something like that.
Yeah.
So you do research, or you watch videotapes of yourself or the opposition, or something to do with that basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be anything like that. I mean, that's the whole thing with the condition. It could be anything.
yeah.
The next item, which is linked in again with this improvement and deterioration system, is the individual player patterns,
Yes.
of which there are about 7, I think.
7.
Seven,
Yeah.
yes.
So we have 7 distinct player patterns. Basically, what this means is that, for instance, goalkeepers will have very different patterns than star strikers, for instance.
Yeah.
Star strikers' patterns will be kind of signified by their ability to grow very fast in their young ages. So anywhere between 18 to 21, 22, 23 maybe, at which they'll kind of peak, but then they'll drop off at a much younger age than goalkeepers would.
So goalkeepers and defenders wouldn't burn as brightly, let's say, than attackers and midfielders, but they would burn longer.
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
we're saying here. The goalkeeper's the obvious one because it's the one that we've all wanted.
Yes.
But the goalkeepers had a very specific. They've got a different aging, and they've got a different deterioration factor from outfield players because they're not doing the running around, and
Yeah, exactly.
it's a different role entirely.
So we're
You
go-
get this. It's
Yeah.
now getting done.
So we're gonna have 7 patterns like this. The patterns do not only affect the way that they deteriorate, but they also affect the way that training will have an effect on them. So basically, the patterns also decide the effectiveness of the training that you're doing, which means that, again, for the star striker, he's going to have more effectiveness on training in his young ages, whereas, for instance, a midfielder or a defender might have more effectiveness somewhere in his late 20s.
Yeah, the further back from the front of the pitch
Yeah.
you go, essentially, the later players mature.
Yeah.
So that will be reflected. And again, there's some variance there as well, because as you can tell, there's 7 patterns, and there's
Yeah.
4 specific areas of the pitch. There's still some variance in there as well.
And we're saying things like goalkeeper patterns and stuff like that, but they're not actually goalkeeper
Yeah,
patterns.
they're not restricted.
They're not
to
restricted to that. You might see players like Giggs, which would maybe serve under the goalkeeper pattern that we're putting forward. So they really are individual player patterns. They're not limited to any position or anything like that.
Speaking of gigs, actually, we're actually also working on potentially something else within the game for those players like gigs,
Yeah.
who are around just seemingly forever. And this is your Totti as well, and
Yeah,
other
exactly.
players like him, who are the icon of a club and have been there for, like I say, seemingly ever, seasons after season after season. We're actually looking to implement something into the game that specifically reflects that, and myself and Natchai and the devs are working on that right now.
Yeah. This has not been confirmed yet for any date.
We're working on this. Yeah.
But
So it could
this
be.
is, yeah.
This, you won't see this at least until February, I'm thinking. Probably.
Yeah.
But it's something that
It's
all sides like, and if all sides like it, then it's probably something that we'll try and get in.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, and then you get the aspect of the development against
deterioration.
deterioration.
Exactly.
Your ability to gain benefit from training does not stop when you hit the 30 age limit.
Yeah.
So you hit the 30 age limit, deterioration starts, and all that happens there is that the deterioration factor and the improvement factor start to nullify each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the deterioration means you'll improve less. And then it'll hit a point where they're equal, and then it'll hit a point where the deterioration is outweighing it, and your player is deteriorating his stats, but the training is then trying to minimize that. So this is where you get what we were saying with, you won't see as much, and then the deterioration factor will go up over time.
Mm-hmm.
This you'll see this much more clearly, or you should see this much more clearly, in that you're doing something to try and reduce it.
Yeah.
You yourself have an active say in what happens next with this player.
Yeah. You can choose, of course, to let them deteriorate at the rate that that they maximally could, but yeah, you can work on your player to not deteriorate as much as he would.
You know how you guys wanted to do more stuff in the game, and you wanted to spend more time having to do stuff in the game. Now you do.
Now you do.
Now you know. Now you need to really. I mean, the top players in the game, you will see, will probably spend a lot of time with their training, making sure everything's all right and balanced, and look into their team.
Speaking of which, actually, we mentioned the three time options that you have, being 4, 8, and 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, training a player for 4 hours is not going to benefit as much as training him for 24 hours at a time. But if you're able to do a 24-hour cycle of 4-hour training intervals, of course that's going to benefit you more because you're spending more time in the game, obviously. So yeah, I think we'll see top players log in more on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll spend less time each time, but they will log in more.
Yeah. It specifically will go back to you probably logging in maybe 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Which you probably do anyway if those players who do to get tour and maximise the amount of energy that they get from everything back. But yeah, logging into the game becomes more important for you.
Yeah.
You need to be you can't just fire and forget anymore.
No.
Like I know some players do.
I mean, you can, of course, if you choose a 24-hour
Yeah, but
thing.
you will not get anywhere near the amount of benefit.
Yeah.
Okay. There's going to be a new ranking system. This ranking system will basically just show the maximum number of wins you've got, and you'll be ranked. And this will be across the entire game world, all users.
Yeah.
There's a lot of you.
There's a whole lot of you.
I think actually you'd be surprised how many users there are in the game.
So yeah, this will show on the top menu. You'll see your rank in between all of the users that we have. So yeah, what this will be based on is your league wins, your cup wins, and your tour wins.
That's the kicker. It's your tour wins as well.
Yeah. So for instance, right now you have 4 options on tour. One being easier but rewarding less, and some being harder and rewarding more. You'll kind of have to decide whether you want to sacrifice a possible win to get more reward, possibly falling down the ladder.
Yeah, all of a sudden, your choice, which was introduced very recently, with the strength of your tour opponent, Now you've got to think, okay, I can get more coins from beating this highest rated team.
But I might lose.
But you've got a bigger chance of losing, and losing affects your overall ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So and you've still got your other rankings as well, naturally, but those are just league. So, if you want to be the very, very, very best, now you've got something else to think about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thinking in this game, I know, but but this is it. This is why PES players play PES, frankly.
Yeah.
You need to be slightly more.
You need to be on top of things, guys.
Yeah. Loyalty bonus is going to be changed.
Yeah.
Now, before everyone starts going panic stations, it's better for you.
It's very much better. Right now we have the loyalty cards, which are 11 days. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good as the others.
The 50 coin.
The 50 coin one comes to mind.
One.
Yeah.
Even nobody knew how that got into the game, to be honest. Yeah, and there's actually many of these cards as well. I think there's about 12.
Yeah, there are a lot of loyalty cards that you can possibly get.
Why no one has actually bothered to track these?
Yeah, we don't know.
We've given away enough really big hints that, hey, if you actually track these and track the cycle of them, because they all go into cycle, which you said several times, and if you actually found out what the cycle was by going with a couple of players and finding out where they are, and you could find the entire cycle, you could actually benefit yourself if you figure out how that cycle works, because you can maximize the amount of big top awards you could get in the least amount of days possible. But no one figured this. No one bothered to do it, and you've missed out. But that's being reduced down to
4 tickets, I believe.
4 tickets.
4 tickets, and they're all pretty much the same as each other. Being that the usual rewards will be the same over all these 4 cards, I must say. But some of the bigger rewards that you'll be getting, and you're not just getting one big reward, because the new loyalty cards will be 15 days as opposed to 11 days. So you'll be getting a fairly big reward every, I believe it's 5 days.
5 days.
And those rewards will be different per loyalty card. What is interesting to know is that each loyalty card will provide you with either a gold ticket at the end or a contract card, but you'll also be provided with an 80 plus ticket. You'll be provided with, I believe, 1,000 coins per ticket. So yeah, the loyalty cards are very much improved.
Yeah, don't quote me on this, guys, but I'm pretty certain that of the 4, 2 have gold tickets, 1 has a contract card, and the other, I think, has a heftier coins.
No, I think they have. I think there's 3 with a gold ticket.
There's 3 with a gold and 1 with a contract.
And then 1 with a contract card.
Okay, that would probably make as much sense, to be honest. So yeah, one of the other things which isn't confirmed yet, but it's something that both we and the devs think would be a very good idea, would be checkpointing.
Yeah.
So when you get to a certain point, it'll be if you miss a day, you won't lose your progress on that loyalty card.
You'll lose some progress.
You lose some, but you'll go back to whatever the marker was.
Yeah.
And we're looking at this being 5 days, because we know there's those of you who don't have access to the internet 7 days a week, and that might be just general weekdays. You may be going via school or college or uni or something like that, and you don't have ready access apart from on those days. So it would make sense for it to be 5 days, so you've got the weekdays and on the days you've got access to it. So we're always looking at ways to improve this game for you, and this is one of those ones. Okay.
Yep.
Auction version 2 I've already mentioned.
Yep.
And of course we've already mentioned Christmas, but what's happening at Christmas apart from Santa visiting you and
Okay, so
giving you a gold ticket or something, probably?
The updates that we just talked about are confirmed to come into the game the 16th of December, which is fairly soon.
There's a lot.
It's a whole lot, and we didn't think that everything
And
would be coming in.
that's not all the things either.
No.
Yeah? Still more to come.
But so starting the 16th, we'll be having our holiday season campaign, which is, it's basically going to provide you with a kind of gift every day. And you don't have to log in consecutively, though it is kind of good that you would, because if you do log in each day from the 16th until the 25th, you will be getting an additional contract card at the end of the ride. Not all of the gifts will be as good as you might think they would be. Some of them will be better than others, but they're free. They're for the holidays.
Think of it like a less than 25-day advent calendar.
Yeah.
Which you don't even have to open the door. But on any advent calendar, if it was like a chocolate one or something like that, there's always days where it's just like, oh, there's that, and it's something you wouldn't be getting.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I say, some of these are very, and as you said, some of these are very good.
Yeah, some of them are very, very good.
And heck, there's a contract card at the end of it, so even more important things.
Yeah.
So there's that. There'll be other giveaways as well. Please pay attention.
Pay attention to the social media,
Facebook,
and forums,
Twitter.
and everything.
If you do not follow us on Twitter, please do.
Follow us on
Please
Twitter.
do. There are players out there getting, extra coins maybe, or energy and tickets every so often.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're missing out, and you can say to us, why don't you put that on the Facebook page? But that's the point for the Twitter followers. And
Yeah.
they get a different thing to what you guys see on the Facebook page.
They also get some more information at times.
Yeah, they get a bit more conversational with us. We'll say hi, we'll have a chat. We're always up for a chat, us two. So, there's that to look forward to. There is no achievements. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, is it Halloween? Is it going to be like the Halloween?
No,
it's not, unfortunately.
We had a very big...
Oh, you got yeah.
If you would have had our way, you would have, yeah.
I spent so long on that. I'll probably share with you at some point, actually, because, what it was going to be. I don't see any problem with that. But the development focus at the moment is on December 16th, where we've got all of this stuff happening that we've said previously. And we've still got more for December 16th. It is monumentally huge, by far and away the biggest update we've ever had in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. You remember the UK map?
It's finally coming.
It's coming! We're actually having the UK map. It's joining Tour 13-14, so you'll have an opportunity to go there and do things. And
and yes, because I've seen some players on Facebook already, because we launched the UK announcement today. I've already seen some players saying, but I'll probably not get the Merseyside formation, right? Yes.
You should do.
You should be getting them. You should be getting all of the English, Scottish, Welsh formations that we have in the game.
The joke is actually that if we'd have had the full Christmas thing that we did, I did specifically put in something that allowed you to get the Merseyside red formation because of this demand for it. But yeah, you should be getting that. Yeah, so yeah, brand new map for 2013-14 tour, fantastic UK map. We could have left it there.
We could have, yeah.
But it's heading to Tour 2 too!
Boom!
Boom! Tour 2, new map.
Not only that, but all of the maps that we currently have on Tour 2013-14 are getting implemented on Tour 2.
France, Italy, South America, and of course we've got the new UK coming in.
And Europe.
Oh, and Spain. Spain, Portugal. I know you're already in Spain, Portugal, but that is getting a refresh, it's getting an update.
Yeah. Players who currently have already completed the Spain, Portugal map, who have the ranking unlocks, no need to worry, you won't need to replay everything.
Yeah.
The rankings will just...
Yeah, if you've got a position unlocked in the old formation from the Spain-Portuguese tour, this will translate over to the new formation. So
Yep.
you don't have to worry about any of that. Not only that, we are aware that actually the unlocks were kind of a nightmare,
Yeah.
specifically for those players who were trying to, be a perfectionist collection person. You'll get keys a lot more frequently now. Essentially, every time you do a playthrough of the node, you will get at least one.
Yeah. And you'll always get one that you didn't have.
Because
before.
that was one of the things, is that you could get a key, you could earn a key, the right to have a key, but it would just still pick
a random
one
key.
from 11.
Yeah.
And if it's one you didn't have, you just get XP. That's no longer going to be the case.
So effectively, you could run through a tour 11 times and have it unlocked completely.
Yeah, fantastic. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Tour 2 maps.
Wait, and there's actually more to Tour 2, because not only did we do the ranking thing, but we also have some new rewards that you can get on Tour 2.
Oh yes, indeed. Well, I hear on the grapevine that there may be a small amount, not anywhere near amount as the other tour, but that there might be coins coming to Tour 2 in a small amount or degree.
Not anywhere near what Tour 2013-14
because that's
is.
your focus for tickets.
That's
and
the money
coins
tour.
Is the 2013-14 tour.
Apart from that, we'll also be having normal and bronze, or bronze and silver. Anyway, we'll have tickets. We'll have specific tickets that will allow you to get players from the league of the map you're in. So effectively, if you play in Italy, you'll have a ticket that will allow you to get Italian league players. Added to that, you'll also be able to find 80 plus tickets, which are not specific in any way. Are there any more rewards that were changed? Oh yeah, the contract cards will be slightly harder to find.
But then again, they're slightly easier to find in other ways. Because they're much more frequent on the on the loyalty card.
And this is also done because the amount of gold tickets that you'll be able to find has increased. So there'll be more of a balance between contract cards and gold cards.
So, and we've always said that it's cheaper to replace than to renew.
Yeah.
And this is something that, again, that will be reflected.
So, and this is all in addition to any rewards that you were able to get on Tour 2 previously.
Yeah.
So it's not taking that away.
There'll be a full breakdown of all the changes to the various rewards, and if we can give you percentages and things, we will do so, but bear in mind that we may not be able to do that. But we'll give a full breakdown of that on the way. And I think there's something else with Tour 2 as well. There's still, we're looking at ways to even expand the maps even more. There are more plans afoot, but heck, you've got all that for the time being. Oh, of course, and just like the Spain Portuguese, you'll have free achievements available for every single one of those tour maps.
Yep. We actually just sent the achievement titles through today. So
yes, indeed. And since we were doing achievements for that, we asked the question you've been asking for a very long time: could we please have an achievement for completing the map on the Tour 13-14?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So those are coming up as well. So if you've got, they may not be implemented at the same time. They'll be implemented a bit later, but it's been agreed.
Yeah.
It's been told it's agreed. It's in the podcast now and stuff. So yeah, you'll get an achievement for completing the map. So if you have already completed the maps in the first tour, you've got more tours to actually do now, and B, you'll see an achievement for that somewhere down the line. So good news, lots of achievements coming into the game. There's some more somewhere. I don't know what happened to them, but we'll have to ask about that another week. But yes, there's even more coming. There's tons of achievements just waiting to be let loose on you all. We have not forgotten the achievements. December 23rd is the week after. Obviously, it's the week before Christmas. We're not really going to have much in the way of massive changes. I think the dev team will probably be trying to just relax and...
and so will we, probably.
Yeah.
Because
all the coders will have their wrists wrapped in bandages and their fingers are all bandaged up from all the coding they've been doing, and there'll be just piles of broken keyboards that have all been worn out from all this coding. But there is going to be a slight change. The tutorial system is being reworked.
Yeah.
We weren't happy with it. You weren't happy with it. So that's getting a big update. Mm-hmm. Which should make it a lot more clear for people, and of course reflect all the changes that were brought into the game the week previously.
Yeah.
Boxing Day, December 26th.
Yes.
This is a sad news type aspect. Mm-hmm. We have lost some licenses from the game. This will need to be reflected within the game.
Yeah.
However, the following clubs, which are being lost, which are Dynamo Zagreb, CFR Cluj, Dynamo Kiev, Bristois, Nasi Troyes Palmero, Pasquerach, Siena Deportivo, Mallorca, and Zaragoza. Those clubs will go. However, we're aware that it's only actually a very small percentage of you that actually use any players from those teams. So it's not a massive loss, to be honest.
No.
And we are doing something about those, aren't we, for those players?
Yeah. Basically what's going to happen is if you have players from these clubs, they'll be replaced with kind of generic players. For those of you who have been with us for quite a long time now, it'll basically be just as if they're leaving your club and they're being replaced with... in
the old style from a PES United player or similar.
These players, of course, will not be super good, which is why, in all probability, players that do have this situation will be compensated with some silver tickets.
Yeah. So it'll allow you to get a replacement player, basically.
And as for the formations of these teams, these are probably going to stay in the game, but under a different name. They're going to be kind of a generic formation from now on.
Yeah. So if you've got them previously and you still have them I don't know how that's going to work exactly, because it's all the 12, 13 teams who, and those formations will be leaving the game anyway on January 1st. Yep. So I guess they just become the generic formations, because one of the things that we are also looking into putting into the game is some just generic formations. Generic 4-4-2, 4-3-3, etc., etc. So, yeah. So a sad thing that there's some licenses lost, but like I say, it's not actually impacting the game that much apparently. So we continue. New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, everyone will be receiving a gift in game. We also advise you, of course, to check out our social media pages and stuff like that for any more.
Very strong hint.
For those of you that are listening.
Yes. The people who listen all the way through the podcast get the most information and they get the most hints.
Yeah.
You're lovely people. We love you to bits. All right.
So that will be happening. There will be a gift. A pretty substantial gift, actually. So.
There's nothing coming your way on Christmas Day. We'll say this now, okay? No. You've got all the items coming up to... Well, you're assuming that, if you log in on Christmas Day and you've done all the other ones, you'll get the contract card, of course. Yeah. But there's no other giveaway that you're getting on that day. Mm-hmm. So the strong hint is that you log in on New Year's Day and see what is there.
Yeah, and just keep an eye on our social media pages and any posts that we do throughout the entire holiday season.
It's a time for giving.
Yeah, not only up until Christmas, but even after that.
Exactly. Okay, so that's where the degree of certainty
Yeah.
ends. Okay, and we'll only be giving you a very vague idea of what's happening from January onwards
Yes.
at this point in time, but we're still going to talk about the things. Okay, so next big season thing will be January 13th at that point in time. And yeah, there's a number of things. These may get moved back, etc. But these are the things that we are working on, or the devs are working on, and that we intend, at the very least, to be releasing around this time. Club facilities.
This is something that I don't think the community has ever brought up yet.
We've brought it up on
We've brought it up.
We've brought it up, but then
Yeah.
nobody's followed up on that with us. At least that's not much I'm aware of.
So basically what this means is that you'll be able to kind of build out your staff, as far as I understood it. So you'll be able to have like an actual physio, maybe like an assistant coach or something like that.
Some yeah. It's there'll be sort of other bits as opposed to just the pitch
Yeah.
to your stadium, in essence. So.
And these things will normally be impacting the way that your team is performing and stuff like that. But that's about all that we can say about it right now.
Okay. One of the things when we did this plan and put it to the devs, scouting.
Yeah. We've had some
Every
very
day, yelling and screaming.
I can't find a left back.
Do something about the scouting.
I spent
It's all
190
useless. Every
scouting
player is worthless. No. I spent 200 scouting tickets and I couldn't find a right-sided midfielder with the things
the
with
stats
the
that I
exact
need.
things that I wanted. So in order to save our ears, but more importantly to adjust for the fact that yes, it is more difficult to find a left-sided player or a right-sided player than it is to find a centre player. One of the things that is coming in is the ability that your scout will upgrade.
Yeah.
You have the ability to upgrade your scout. And how does your scout upgrade? You'll take him on tour with you.
Yeah. So the details of this system are yet to be determined and stuff like that. But essentially what it'll be is you'll kind of level up your scout. And that will essentially grant you the ability to be more specific with each level.
Yeah. You'll take him on tour with you. The scout himself, as you move around, the scout will gain more knowledge. He'll gain more experience. He'll know more about what players and teams are doing. So essentially, be doing what he'd be doing in real life.
Yeah.
And as I say, the more levels you go up, the more specific, obviously, that you can be. The intention is that the first level that you go up, and this will take some time.
Yeah.
This will not be a quick thing. But the first level that you actually go up, you will get the ability to do left and right-sided players.
Yep.
Or at least it's specified between having everybody just central or just left and right. Okay, so there'd be that. For those of you with no patience,
Yeah. This will be, in all probability, something that will be monetizable. So you will be able to get a shortcut and buy the maximum level of scout that you can have.
however, there is also a sort of thing with that as well. So before anyone goes, oh no, because that's real benefit. But yes, it is. But so is everything else in the store. But the problem with the shortcut is it's not a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
They become the intention is that they become a contractor of the club. They have a contract as well.
Yeah.
And by getting that scout in, you fired your other scout. So unless you keep that scout there, you're going to lose his ability when he leaves and loses the club, and then you'll have to rehire the scout or get a new scout in, and he will be right back at the beginning again.
Yeah.
So it'd be great, yeah, short-term gain, but for those of you who are, who don't want to use the store or are very anti-store, some of you are very, very anti-store. I don't see why. Those are the players spending money in the store is what keeps the game running.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's prevent that from happening, and then you wouldn't have a game. But those of you who do take the longer route actually have the greatest benefit in the end.
Yeah.
Because if you do not replace the scout, he hits a level and he upgrades, and that's his level then from now on.
Yeah.
Unless you replace it.
Yeah. And yes, there will be a maximum level, of course.
There'll be
there will be a limit as to how specifically you can scout, and there could be like some increased costs in terms of scouting tickets and stuff like that. But all of that is still uncertain.
We don't know. There might be like a top one, which is only a top level, which is only available through monetization. And again, it would just be on this contracted aspect. So I mean, it all balances out because then you're not buying technically as many tickets or things. So again, it's a way for you to play the game and think. But those of you who take the longer, slower route, it's longer and slower, but you don't have to worry about having to renew contracts or redo anything with this.
Yep.
And if you mess up and you forget about your scouts and you don't renew his contract, you're not put back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the balance between it that we're trying to strike here. How would you like to play against your friends in more than just friendlies? I'm sure I would. I know I would, and I know that you. And we know that you do. And the devs know that you do.
Yeah. So this is probably going to be implemented on January 13th as well. It's getting a lot of priority because obviously it's a very important feature for a lot of you, if not most of you.
Yeah.
So the ability to play with your friends in some kind of league or cup or any type of competition will be coming in. We don't know exactly how it's going to work yet or how it's going to look, if there's going to be rewards for it. We don't know yet, but we do know that the ability to do so will be there, and that it will probably open up some cool options for us as community managers.
Yeah,
because we'll be probably able to host kind of like community tournaments.
Yeah, there'll be a Natchai Invitational.
Yeah.
I'm not joking either. I mean, it'll be a thing that we'll be able to do with you guys, and there'll be special rewards, and we'll be able to interact with you specifically. And we could probably do one of those every season and invite specific players and teams who want to come and face us. There's lots of you who say, I'm going to come and beat you, and then you beat us in the tour or something. And yeah, tour's a bit different, guys.
Yeah.
Tour's a bit different to the real thing. Then you play us in a friendly, and then we don't hear from you again because we beat you.
We see it. We see our history.
We see the We check. We see the history. We all see a lot of W's, not a lot of L's. That's what we see. So yeah, come and have a go in January when this is done. Hopefully. But so that's coming. International formations. We get asked a lot about international formations. We've got the World Cup coming up. We're going to be doing something, guys, for the World Cup / international arena. There is an international cup / tournament being developed. That will be probably the season after, so that would be January 27th at minimum, I think. But that's coming. You'll have the ability to do some extra things that you didn't do. It may even allow in some players that you've been wanting that that can't come in through club level. There's a distinct amount of possibilities, international formations. We're talking about it. We're talking about trying to get some more in as a new invite-a-friend action.
Yeah.
Speaking of invite-a-friend actions, December 16th, along with everything else, the invite-a-friend will reset and you'll get an opportunity to invite friends in for gold tickets again if you've already maxed out before. We know that's been going for a long time.
And players have been asking about it for quite some time now.
Yeah. Although that was the interesting thing is that we were hearing more calls for the international formations one. You know what we said? We said that it was important, and we would find that they were important. Now you guys understand, and now those will be coming as well at some point in time, probably before the international cups come out, actually.
Yeah.
But there may even be some community involvement in picking sides for the international cup. There's a few things being thrown around, and we may let you pick some sides. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, the generic formations will probably be coming at that time, and there's going to be a bit of a change to the way that the matches are presented.
Yeah.
Don't ask us what it is because we haven't got a clue.
We're told that it'll look more exciting.
So we're expecting Michael Bay-esque explosions everywhere. And
Transformers popping up out of the ground and stuff like that. And
dubstep. Lots of dubstep. Lots of dubstep. And, bajillions of boots or something.
If you guys want the current music to remain, please start a petition. But yeah, I think that's about all that we have for the moment.
If somebody dubstep remixes the PES-Aff theme, will give you a lot of coins, I think. For it. If there's somebody out there who's bored over Christmas and would like to do a dubstep version of the PES-Aff music, we'll give you a lot of it, I think. The challenge is there. Multiple contract cards. How about that? 5 contract cards. 5 contract cards if you dubstep remix the PES-Aff theme. My Christmas challenge to you. Go, community, go.
Scrimex.
Yes, the famous Swedish midfielder. Okay. There'll be lots of other things going along during now and the new year and immediately after. So please keep an eye on the pages. Also, whilst we're here, it's Christmas, guys. So be aware that from about the 20th, say, we're not going to be as speedy in getting support queries back to you.
Yep.
Mainly due to the fact that, we're busy.
We're busy. We're visiting families.
Funny enough, we've got families too.
Yeah.
And we'd like to see them. So we will get back to you, but it may take, 2 or 3 days more maybe than it would do normally. But yeah, just please bear that in mind that, Christmas, there's people, we're off doing things in different parts of the world, frankly. So bear that in mind. There will be some support available on Boxing Day. But Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, forget it. We're not going to be that. So, like I say, we will get back to you in time. We promise. Okay. Especially if you do send a private message to us on Facebook. Don't send a wall thing. Send us a private message.
Yeah.
We will get back to you.
And the same goes for reimbursements, guys, because obviously we're not the ones who have to investigate and approve the reimbursements that we do, which is kind of a strange thing for you, I guess. So any reimbursements that we would have to make will probably not be made until the new year. Yeah,
expect the new year. Because obviously it's not known as us, because it's the dev team and they're the ones who do the investigations. Yeah. So because they have to check the financial data and against the financial data that they have in Japan versus Facebook and see if payments were actually received and things like that. So just bear that in mind that consideration we might actually want to Christmas ourselves. But that is all for 2013.
Yeah.
Not just Podcast 10, for 2013 as a whole.
Yeah. It's been a wondrous year.
It's been a heck of a year. Anyway, so until we see you again in 2014 as opposed to 2034, it currently is. We get all confused about dates once again.
Yeah.
We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2014.
Yeah. See you in the future, guys.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.